definitely doing the front. So here we go. We are on September the 16th. This week on Wednesday, we are having a test over the stuff on this study guide. Okay. Yes, the dates are off. Kind of goes back to that good old testing and stuff we did last week. So today is the 16th. Okay, give me a second here. This is the study guide, and in class today, just like this class, we are going to all do the front. I'm kind of doing it with them, trying to refresh our minds on how to do all this. And the back is turned into homework for most classes. Now, I do want to point out one thing in case I forget later, which is on the back, on the bottom. Okay, on the very bottom, there is a sentence or a list. Okay, there is a list right here of words to study. You've got all the definitions. They are in your binder. 4 of them, these 4, were on the last test. Okay, and then these 3 are the newer ones. I'm also going to send out a Quizlet today, or there is a Quizlet going out at 3 o'clock that has all the words, the definitions, everything you need to study for the vocab part of it. Okay. And there will be a word bank on Wednesday on the test. So it'll be like matching, word definition. Okay. Here we go. So, going to the front. Here we go. With a refresher course. So, starting out, we did this last week, I think on Thursday. We're going to start out, Monday or Tuesday. Start out by changing a fraction to a mixed number. Now, the end of this thing, what is behind the decimal, is what we put on top. Yes. So think about a fraction. It has a fraction bar. Whatever's behind the decimal is what goes on top. Okay, helpful hint. 3 numbers on top means 3 zeros on bottom. Yes, I was just checking to make sure it's recording. Okay, now here we go. We got to simplify. What goes into that? 5. Okay, so if you don't know anything else, use the 5. Okay. This is the part you may have to do on scratch paper if you're not sure. I know it's 7 and a 5. 5 would go into that 200. Okay, what else? 5 again. Yes?
On the last sheet that we did this in, when we were doing converting it into a mixed number, it said that the last number of the decimal would be on the bottom, but so it would come, I thought it would be 1500.
No, what it says, it's actually, I happen to have it hanging here. So look, so here's the rules. So it says, the number that's behind the decimal goes on top. So 98 is on top. Whatever the last place value is goes on bottom. So that 8 is in the hundredths column. And then a good trick is if there's 2 numbers here, there's 2 zeros, and add a 1 in the front. Okay? Okay, and y'all have these notes, like these should be in your notes. How to do this should be in your notes. In fact, definitions. Okay. But I'm glad that's fine. That's fine. I just want to show you. Okay. So looking back at this one. Okay. Do y'all see that this divides by 5 again?
Yes.
Okay. So, 5 into 7, 1. 5, 5. 5 into 200. 40. Okay. By 5 again. Look, all it is if you see a 5 and a 0 on the end, it's divisible by 5, if nothing else. So I get 3 over 8. You got it. That is as far as that one will go. And I realize it's a little odd the way that it keeps going and going. Back here, all it is we should have probably done like by 25 or even bigger than that. 15. And it would have simplified. It wouldn't have taken so many steps. But if that's all you know, use it. Okay. Okay, so looking at number 2 here. We have 8.7 or 8 and 7/10. You got it. So think about a fraction. That 8 is going to be the big 8 in the front of the fraction. So that 8 is that 8. 7 is on top, and it is in the tenths column. So that is, does 7 and 10 simplify? Nope. So we are done there. 7 and 10. Done. Yep, that one's short and sweet. Okay, number 3 here. So this one has both the front and the back end of a decimal. So, starting out, it's going to be the big fat 36 in the front, 52 on top, and what on bottom? 100. 2 zeros for the 52. Simplifies by 2. Good. They're both even, so simplifies by 2. Keep the 36. Don't forget about it. And that would be 26. Yes, I'm going too fast. Okay, over 50. And then 26 and 50 simplify by 2. That was what my mind was going to. Okay, so keep the big fat 36 again. 2 would go into that 13. And 2 would go into that 25. That is its simplest form. It just takes a lot of work. Okay. Everybody good on those? Yes. Any questions? I don't mind. Okay. Go into the next part. Now we're going to convert to a decimal. Taking a fraction or mixed number, changing it to a decimal. Okay, now I like the beginning of these because if it's 8 here, it looks like 8 there. That's part of your answer right there. 8 in the front, 8 in the front. That's the easy part. What do we do with the 1 and the 3? Divide it out. 1 in the house, 3 outside the house. Remember, it's been a while. It's been a few days. Okay, so then we add what?
A 0.
A decimal and a 0. How many 3s are in 10?
3.
3. Add a 0.
Oh, it's a
Repeating. And what's repeating?
The
3. So up here we need to put a 3 and a repeater bar. Please make sure you have the repeater bar. It's got to be wrong if you don't. Okay. Get on that one? Okay. So let's look at this one. No whole number in front, so it's kind of weird. It's just going to start with like a decimal. Okay. 26 divided by 30. Which one goes in the house? 26. That's the kind of questions that on Wednesday I can't answer. Really, Wednesday's going to be, I got to batten down the hatches. We got to get this, okay? Can 30 go into 260?
Yes.
How many times? So I want your brain to start thinking of this. 3 times what is near 26 without going over 26? 8 is 24, right?
Yeah.
So 8 is 24 with the 0. Okay, and if I add a 0, I have 200. So 3 times what's near 200?
6.
6 is 18.
It's repeating.
Ah, what's repeating?
The 2.
Oops, I'm sorry, I thought y'all could see that.
20, I meant.
Okay, what number up here in the quotient, though?
6.
6. Be careful, just the 6. So when you write the answer, you want it to be 0.86 with the repeater bar only on the 8. The 6. Only on the 6. Does that make sense? Everybody's good? Okay. Someone asked me earlier, because of those 2 examples, do they all repeat? No. Just happens that we made 2 examples that did. Okay. Here we go. 6, 7, and 8. All we're doing is simplify it. It's kind of like we're pretending we did a bunch of math, and I want you to give me the simplest form of the answer. Okay, so like looking at number 6. What simplifies a 12 and a 15? 3. So that's all I'm doing. I'm dividing by 3 on the top and the bottom to get my answer. 12 divided by 3? 4. And then 15 divided by 3 is 5. Can anything go into that?
No.
Nope. Done with that. Just practice and simplify it. Writing with me, guys. Every one of you should be getting this down. Okay. 11 and 132. Divisible by? 11s. Okay. I know a lot of you kind of stop on ones like this because you think, well, 11's the only thing that goes into 11. But you got to check and see if it'll go into the other one. 11 times 12 is 132. Okay. Now, the last one, does it simplify? No, but I want you to see something. If you leave it like that, I kind of have to assume you didn't do it. I need you to either write it and circle or something. I need you to show me that you knew it didn't simplify. Okay, something. Otherwise, I kind of wonder if you did it or not. Stab myself with a pencil. Okay, last 2, adding and subtracting. Now we know there's all different styles here. Some we simplify, some we borrow. Here we go. Let's look at number 9. Okay, 8 over 21 minus 2/7. Okay, in case you weren't here, I'm going to take this kind of slow. Think about skip counting by 21s and 7s. And yes, our common denominator would be 21. Okay, if you're wondering how to get the top numbers, what we're thinking is 21 times 1 equals 21. So 8 times 1 is 8. On the bottom, I'm thinking 7 times 3 is 21. 2 times 3 is 6. So all I do now is I make sure I do subtraction. 8 minus 6 is 21. 21. So we got it. And it doesn't simplify, and there's no whole numbers. So there we go. Sometimes when I have kids out, I don't know if you've been out 1 day, 3 days, or what. So sometimes when we get to a study guide, it's kind of the time that I know I can catch everyone up. So if we ever hit a topic on a day like this, and you're like, I wasn't here that day, let me know. Because I try to take it slow again, but I don't know. Okay, on the next one, it is, let's see, 5 1/6 plus an 8 7/9. Okay, common denominator. Now I'm going to use the low one. If you use 54, it's fine. We should all get the same answer. It's just 18 is the smallest. So in the end, I would have 13 17/18. So I'm going to show you. If you use 54, I just kind of want to show y'all that it works. You'd have a 9. You'd have 42. 42 plus 9 is 51 54ths with the 13 in front. And all it is that simplifies by 3. That's kind of hard to know, but like that's the biggie that's going on. So if I divide this by 3 and this by 3, I still have 13. I get 17 on top and an 18 on bottom. You get the same answer, it's just this person has what I call a little bit more work to do. That's really why I need you to show your work. Big time. Okay, so what I'd like you to do is start with the top of the back. 1, 2, and 3. What I'm going to do is let you kind of work on it. Start the top, and then in a minute I'm going to probably go over a few. But I want you to see if you can just kind of get ahead of me while I try to fix this paper. Okay, there we go. It's getting there. Okay. So I'm going to give them a few minutes to try to do 1, 2, and 3. So I want to show you, number 1. Listen, and all of you see step 1, which is that 425. I mean, I'm walking around. You all have this. You've even got the right amount of zeros. You've got it over 1,000, the whole bit. The next thing I'm seeing is that a lot of you've even got divided by 5, which is right. I mean, that's fine to use. Honestly, you can use that. You could probably use 25. So what I'm going to have to do is this. Like, if you're not sure, and this is kind of silly, but I need you to see what you may have to do. If you don't know this answer, you're going to have to take 425 and put it in the house. Put 5 outside the house. And then sit there and say, well, 5 can't go into 4. How many 42? 8, which is 40. And then bring down a 5. 5 times 5 is 25, right? So, my top number is an 85. Okay. Well, if I can't do the bottom, what I call in my head or whatever, okay, I'm going to do 1,000 divided by 5. Okay, taking it kind of slow and easy. I know 5 can't go into 1. It would go 2 into 10. And then 0, 0. So 200. So I'm now to the point where I got 85 over 200. So what goes into 85 and 200? What? 5 again, right. So, here we go. If I divide this by 5 and this by 5. Once again, if you can't do it in your head, you may have to do 85 divided by 5. 5 into 8 once. Bring down the 5. 5 times 7 is 35. So what should be on the top? 17. Okay. On the bottom, I'm taking 200. divided by 5. 5 times 4 is 20. So it is 40. Can anything go into 17 and 40? Nope. Okay, and there's my final answer. No one should be packing up because you have the whole back of this sheet. If you are done, I need you to keep it out so you can be checking your answers. Okay. Number 2. Taking number 2. 2 and 33. What? 33 over 100, right? Okay. Does that simplify? Nope. And I'm sitting here checking it. Nope. I'm trying 3s. I'm trying 11s. I know 2, 5, 10, but that is it on that one. Okay. We have a ton of time. Please do not be packing up. Okay, I'm going to leave you with number 3 to do. And I'm going to go down to number 4. Okay. Here we go with number 4. Okay. We're going to convert this mixed number to a decimal. So here we go. 5 would be 5 point something. What I usually do is this. Kind of make an answer box. Whatever the whole number is, kind of put it in there. Otherwise, I forget it later. Okay? Because I actually have to do math to figure out the back end of this thing. I have to divide 1 divided by 5. Yes, decimal 0. Perfect. So when we put the 1 in the house, 5 outside, we're going to add the decimal and the 0. How many 5s are in 10? 2. So what's our new number? 5.2. It just ends. Nothing repeated. It terminated. It's done. Yay. Okay. Let's look at number 5 here. Okay, 49 is going to be the front of my decimal. So 49 point or 49 decimal. Okay. Divide by 12. So I need 12 into a 3, which is kind of weird looking, but if we add the decimal and the 0, it makes sense. How many 12s are in 30? 2, because it's 24. How many 12s are in 60? 5. Oh, just kind of add it to the end here, right? 0.25. I mean, it's finished or done or completed. Okay. So what I'm going to do is leave you with number 6. Okay. I'm going to go to 7. I love 7. What does it simplify by?
7.
7s. Guys, if you see those two numbers, it should scream at you dividing by 7. Did you get it? Okay, that's good. I'm going to kind of leave 8 and 9. And I'll probably do like 10 and 11 and then leave you hanging. So let's see. 10. Okay, I am going to kind of stack 10 up and down here. 7/9 minus 2/3. Common denominator?
18.
I'll be honest, 18 works just you'll need to simplify your answer. I'm going to use 9. I'm going to try to use the lowest one. Let's kind of compare. Let's see what happens. Either way, we should get 1/9. So you probably got 2/18. Good on that one? Okay. Just didn't know. Nobody really answered me. And 11. I'm going to do one more. Let's see. This one's adding. So 4/13 plus a half. 26. Yes. Eight. 13. 22. Let me make sure. 20. Yeah, I think 21. 1 second. 13. Yeah, 21. I make mistakes just like y'all do. 21 over 26. That's a 1. It can. I'll be honest, my brain's still checking because I just made a mistake, but I'm checking 3, 7, 2. I mean, I'm sitting here 4, no, 5, no, 6, 7, 8. Nah. Just kind of checking. Okay. So, your homework is to finish this. 12, 13. There's 12. If you haven't seen it, 14, 15. Oh, look, it says 14, 12. It's okay. This is 15. If you're dying to remember it, 13, 15. Okay, and start studying the vocab. It shouldn't be too bad. You should honestly already know numerator and denominator. Okay, finish this for homework. It's not hard, I promise. You just keep going.